I'm going to show you what I think is probably one of the most evil things I have seen in a very long time.
يا جماعة الخير، كواد كابتر تطلق صوت أطفال الآن من مخيم انصارات زي ما انتو سامعين بالضبط. حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل. طبعا زي ما انتو سامعين بالصوت، أي حد بيطلع. امبارح استشهدوا شاب طلع مسكين يشوف ايش الصوت في المدرسة. طبعا بدأ والله ده نصره. حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل.
What you just saw was a video of an Israeli quadcopter being recorded in Gaza. A quadcopter, for those of you who don't know, is sort of shorthand for one of these small Israeli drones that are used by Israeli occupational forces. Those drones are generally tasked with multiple things, ranging from surveillance to the outright murder of Palestinians. And in fact, recently the organization Euromed Human Rights Monitor released a report claiming that Israeli occupational forces are systematically using quadcopters to kill Palestinians from a close distance in Gaza. They note that the IOF has been using these small drones to fire directly at Palestinians, killing and injuring many. And from the data and testimony they were able to obtain, they found that Israeli sniping operations, killings, and executions primarily target unarmed civilians in shelter centers, hospitals, streets, and populated residential areas, these civilians posing no threat or danger to anyone, as they are not participants in any hostilities. Really critical to understand that, right? Israeli occupational forces are using snipers and these quadcopter drones to execute Palestinians in places like shelter centers, hospitals, just around the street and within populated residential areas. In effect, Israeli occupational forces, in the midst of their ongoing genocide in Gaza, are waging a systematic, mechanized campaign of extrajudicial killings. And these quadcopters are playing a major role. The quadcopter is being used for an even more nefarious purpose, as it was playing the recordings of a crying child. The intent there is to get Palestinians to come out of the areas in which they're sheltering and or hiding, because they're, wanting to help a child in need so that Israeli occupational forces can murder them. I want you to really let that sink in. Israeli occupational forces are using the recordings of crying children on their drones to lure out Palestinians so that they can murder them. That is a sort of twisted, undeniable evil that many of us will likely struggle to wrap our heads around. But it is just one part of a much larger, brutal genocide being waged against Palestinians in Gaza and across occupied Palestine. As Palestinians in Gaza are hiding and trying to avoid Israeli bombardment and invasion, Israeli occupational forces are upping their strategies in order to essentially hunt Palestinians for sport. Something really, really worth thinking on. But yeah, as always, free Palestine. Assalamu alaikum. Until next time.